Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Round 6 of Day 1B here at the St. Paul River Center downtown in Paul, Minnesota. Oh, man, it took me just a second. I need some caffeine here. It's the end of the day, 7:45 p.m. We have 75 minutes on the clock right here for the Gold Squadron Production Network, GSPN. I'm Asa Graf.
I'm Andrew Knuckles.
On the left-hand side, we've got Sander Neeft with Boba Fett and Fenrau. On the right, Niklas Good with another scum list with a M12L Kimogila and some snapshot, a refresher from all that U-Wings that you and I have been commentating on the past two rounds. And Andrew.
Yep. All right. So we have Sander hailing from the Netherlands.
Yes.
Running Boba Fett with Fearless, Maul, Proximity Mines, Hull Upgrade, and Slave 1 title. Then we have Fenrau with Crackshot. A pretty hefty bid here.
Right, so he's running at, what would that?
182.
Yeah, so what's that, 18 points?
Yeah.
So 18 points. Now, that's not quite that 19 that we see a lot of those three-ship scum Nantex lists running at.
Yep.
So he would be winning most of the other bids.
Yep.
Not quite.
All of them.
All of them,
yep.
Right. But both these players are still 4-1, obviously doing very well for him.
Yep. So then we have Niklas Good hailing from Sweden with Tirani Kolda with Snapshot and R5P8, which is basically the pain bot.
Right.
You can get rerolls you have 3 charges. You can spend rerolls. If you roll a crit, you take a crit. If you roll a hit, then it's just a hit. Then you have Torkel Mux, Proton Bombs, and Moldy Crow. Then you have a Cartel Marauder and Captain Jostero. Now, I've actually flown against this list with Nicholas flying behind it.
Really?
2 times on Wednesday.
2 times on Wednesday.
Yeah, for Coruscant.
Gotcha.
So he won one of these system opens over in the UK or Europe. I don't know exactly which one.
Okay.
He is a good player.
So
now,
let's take a look at some of the synergies in this list right here, because we have Tirani Kolda, Captain Jostero, and Snapshot.
Yep.
So this is the key right here. This is the shenanigans that we've got going on. Tirani Kolda takes Snapshot against a ship in his firing arc at range, and then the Snapshot arc at range 2 once they attack. Now, if that is also in the bullseye, Tirani Kolda can cause that ship to suffer 1 damage unless it removes a green token. Now, at that point, it hasn't had a chance to acquire a green token just yet. So it won't have any green tokens. It will suffer 1 damage, and then, bam! Jostero can trigger an attack against it, hit it once again. That's a very nasty synergy right there.
Yes. Now, and that also pairs with just Tirani Kolda's ability in general, but then you also have Proton Bombs in here with Torkel Mux. And I will absolutely say this, Nicholas is very good at making sure that those bombs land.
Right. That's something that Fenrau absolutely doesn't want to see. Now, with that said, that means that Captain Jostero is sort of the kicker in Niklas's list, something that Sander is going to really want to get off that board.
Yep. And then you have kind of the standard Boba Fen. Now, this, like every time I see just Boba and Guri or Fen, I'm just like, wow, that is some courage. Like especially with seer swarms and so like pretty much
swarms,
anything.
Those Nantex.
Yeah, that is just terrifying.
Right, but we saw yesterday that Fenrau can cause some serious damage and really not die if he doesn't want to.
Yep. And the other thing is too is that Fenrau is amazing at deleting things.
Right. That's what he is best at. Now, we are going to go ahead and keep track of charges on things like bombs. With these tokens, you see them right over here. They're large, they're transparent, they're easy to see, and they come to you courtesy of Curled Paw Creatives, our sponsors for this episode. If you want to get some for yourself to keep track of your own charges, that's something that is required by the rules. You have to keep track of your own charges. If you want to do it in a cooler way, you can get those from Curled Paw Creatives. You can use code WORLDS2019 for 15% off of that. Thank you to Curled Paw Creatives. Why don't we join me today in thanking Curled Paw Creatives, Andrew?
It feels weird every time I'm on commentating, and then like my foil has to like plug the shop, and I'm just sitting here like kind of like I'm not being talked about. This is fine.
Yeah. So now we have a quick question in the chat here. Yeah. Quick question in the chat right here. K-Bay says, Justero seems weird. Only bombs and Kulda can really trigger him?
Yes.
No, not really.
Well,
so any damage.
kind of,
So
yeah.
Justero's ability says, after an enemy ship suffers damage, if it is not defending, you may perform a bonus attack against that ship.
So that is also loose stabilizer
Right.
damage, console fire damage, stunned pilot damage, obstacle damage.
Right.
So there's a whole slew of ways, even fuel leak damage.
Right. No, because that's
No.
still in the defending. It's still defending at that point.
Oh, you're right.
Right, so it's still defending. It's still in the, well, what in first edition would have been the attack flow chart.
Yeah.
Right.
now we have the ability queue. No one knows what it is. It's
yeah,
fine.
nobody knows what that is. So there are a lot of ways that something could suffer damage outside of an attack.
Yep.
And Niklas has built his list to maximize those sources of damage.
Yep. Yeah, so this is going to be a really interesting matchup because Torkel Mux's ability is just such a mean thing to do to aces.
Right. So Torkel Mux has been showing very, very strongly this tournament. One of the strongest scum lists right now actually has 2 other Kirax fighters in it. So we have Torkel Mux, Captain Seavor, and then three of the Cartel Marauders. Right. In the recent points change, those Cartel Marauders came down just enough. So that now they're extremely efficient jousting shifts for scum. So we've got some movement right here. Just under 69 minutes left in the round.
Yep.
Scum ships banking up towards the front.
I did see in chat, someone said that Snapshot could trigger. It cannot. It is the Tyranny Kulda's ability, if he catches it in bullseye, that would trigger Justero's ability.
Right, that just means that Tyranny has an extra attack opportunity each round to get that bullseye. A lot of times we see these repositioning ships landing in the bullseye, boosting out. Now they have, you know, they don't get that opportunity, right?
Exactly. And even the Kimigilla's ability, just as a ship, if you get dead to rights, if you basically catch someone in the bullseye at any range, you basically just can't spend green tokens to modify your dice.
Right.
So Tyranny Kulda is a mean ship.
Absolutely
and must be dealt with accordingly.
So let's see how Zonder deals with this. Niklas moving his ships up towards the top corner of the board. Tyranny himself moving along the edge. Zonder taking Fen down the bottom, and Boba Fett moving along the left-hand side.
So you pretty much, with Zonder's list here, you want to bring Fen all the way around, threaten the flank, and you want to bring Boba in and force him to commit to one way or the other, and then just say, slave one, I'm going to go the opposite direction.
Right. That's definitely a. That's definitely something that Zonder's got right here. He has Torkel Mux to worry about right there with both of these ships. Definitely, it's going to be more difficult to alpha one of those.
Yeah.
One of those, for lack of a better term, one of those scrubs off the board on Niklas's side.
Yeah, and it's like this is kind of a hit and fade type of list that Zonder is flying. Niklas is just hammer. Right.
Now we actually have a rules question in chat from Dovin. Correct me if I'm wrong. Tyranny does not work with Justero according to rules reference page 9 on Defender. That's an interesting question.
That is an interesting question.
I'll have to take a look at that real quick.
I won't know that. Now, I mean, like, to be fair, he has, Niklas has been running this. We ran this in Coruscant and stuff like that. Now, sorry, they're talking right now. They're really loud. And I don't want to just yell into the microphone.
Something Destiny tiebreakers.
Yeah, we know. It's Destiny.
I don't. Yeah, all right. So here's that rules reference.
Page 9 on Defender. I'll let Asa figure this one out.
Yeah, so what that says on the Defender is the ship remains the Defender until all after attacking and all after defending abilities are completed. So the Tyranny Kulda says after you perform an attack, not necessarily after attacking, but I could definitely see how that would be ruled.
How it could be ruled. If it comes up, you know, we may have to see, but it never came up in my games with Niklas.
Okay.
I tried very hard to remove Tirani before he could do anything in both of our matches. So
now the other key point about this right now is that I don't think that Tirani's ability causes somebody to become the defender, because his bullseye arc extends beyond the attack, right?
Yes,
and
that
it
is
can
correct.
affect ships that are not the defender.
Yep, absolutely.
So I mean, that would be an interesting thing, because would the ship that's affected in the bullseye still be the defender, even though it's affected? It's a little bit weird. If there is a call out on that, we'll go by whatever the FFG judge rules.
Yep, absolutely.
Otherwise, these players are competent. Niklas has built this list around these sorts of effects.
Yep.
So I assume he has a good understanding, of what happens there. So I think.
Yeah. And Niklas is a great guy, super nice, very accommodating player. And
now here in chat too, Timo77778060 says there's another ship in the bullseye. It takes damage and just arrow triggers. So that might be it right there. In any case, there's still triggers.
Yeah,
right. There's still triggers for it. Boba Fett turning in one. Exactly what you were saying there. He's coming through, threatening this top side, threatening this lane.
Yep, because the big thing that you want to do with Boba Fett in this list is you basically want to force them to commit somewhere that Fenn can safely enter combat at range 1.
Right.
And then you also want to just start dropping bombs on getting those proximity mines out and doing as much damage as you can outside of combat.
Right. Now, it is good to point out, as long as I'm thinking about that Tirani Kolda, a very effective anti-swarm ship, right? You think about that facing down one of those droid swarm boxes.
Everyone has to remove one or take one damage? You don't want to do that.
4 of those droids in a line getting hit with that bullseye arc.
Yep.
Removing all of their network's calculations.
Oh, man. So we do have Torkel Mux already full tank for focus that he can hold with the Modi Kroll title.
Yep. 2 up there, that arc pointed down into the center.
Yep, and that's generally how you want it to be. You don't really care too much about Torkel Mux's side arc damage. All you want to do is catch that have 180 degrees of your initiative 0.
Exactly. So Niklas God up here has a scattered formation.
Yep.
Right, so it's not that block that we're used to seeing, but it is still very cohesive. It's obvious that he's practiced with this.
Yes.
What sort of advantage does this? What sort of advantage does this formation give Niklas?
It really just allows him to keep a relatively tight formation, just for so the big thing is that you don't want Tirani Kolda to get basically on the outside in front of these guys.
Right.
Because the second you do that, he always moves last, so then you just start basically a train track.
Right.
Of just getting bumped in.
Right.
And now this kind of formation does, and I kind of do this a lot with my swarms, is I'll train track them up, and then basically I'll do 1 hards and then spread them all out with barrel rolls.
All right, so we're seeing a 3 bank in.
Heavy committal here with Torkel, but Niklas is a pretty aggressive player, grabbing that target lock.
And what he's done here is just there's the pilot skill 0 area.
There is nowhere you can go that you're not going to be 0.
I just said pilot skill. I mean initiative.
Initiative. You first edition player.
Yep.
So we're probably going to see maybe a 2 hard here, a little bit non-committal, just so Fenn can kind of see which way he needs to go and how heavy Niklas is going to commit into these channels.
Another 3 bank with focus from that Cartel Murado. Captain Gilstero, by the way, the painted Kirax on back. Another bank maneuver. Captain Gilstero following in. Just a 2 bank right there. Effortlessly staying in formation.
Yep. And getting that barrel roll, and you're probably not going to see any shots except for maybe Torkel Mux this turn, just because he does have the Slave 1 title and he is not committed to any turn maneuvers at all. That's like the Slave 1 title is so good on Boba Fett.
Absolutely. There's Tirani Kolda following suit in the formation.
Just doing the 1 bank.
He's actually doing the 1 turn right there.
Was it a 1 turn?
That's a 1 turn in his hand. He is going down towards the bottom of the board.
On Boba, yeah. He just says, no, I'm good.
Yep.
I'm not interested in this. I don't blame you.
Now he's taking a boost there. I think he had the opportunity to exchange a shot with Torkel.
Yep. You still don't want to give up any type of shields, especially when he has a target lock. So here's a 3 bank. Decently heavy committal here with Fenn. Now, the big thing is that this is it's a cat and mouse game.
Right.
Here, and Niklas's job is to lock down Fenn or Boba to where they can't escape, and then he just crunches on them. And
Sander's playing a dangerous game right here. That boost in with Fenn brings him close to this formation, which could easily, he hasn't fully committed yet. Niklas could easily bring that down this lane to threaten Fenn, with Boba not really able to back him up just yet.
Yep. Now, we could see some kind of, we could see basically a hard one here. And depending on where all these guys go, if they all hard turn in to bite onto Fenn, then you could see Fenn or Boba come back in. Or if they still just try and go for Boba, he just goes out.
Right, Slave 1.
Yep.
And yeah, Slave 1's a great card.
Yeah,
Question in the chat from Melko Rexar. These guys are undefeated. No, they're both 4-1.
These are 4-1s. Yep.
Right. Either of these folks could take a loss right here, still make it to the top cut tomorrow.
Yep. Yeah, because this is round 6. So whoever wins this one is guaranteed to make it in.
Right. So it is still a high stakes game.
Yep.
Dials are down for Sander.
Trying to figure out how you want to commit here. Now, Torkel will not have the ability to 2 hard in unless he just takes the debris.
Right.
So you may not see 1 hards out of any of these, and you don't really want to put Kolda over here because they don't really have the M3 or the Kimigillas don't really have the best way to clear stress.
Right.
It's all very slow, and you just don't really have a lot of options. So you may just see Tirani Kolda just kind of coming up and maybe doing a 2 straight just to get so where he can carve into this channel on the next turn.
That might be the play here. He's threatening Fenn, but he doesn't have to commit right away if he thinks that he might be bluffing, right? Yep. So there's a very good chance that he could see a maneuver over here into that lane as well.
Yep.
.57 minutes left in this round. Niklas setting down his dials and ready to go.
I think this is a big turn, which is why they're taking a little bit longer than normal, just because this is kind of like choosing where this engagement is actually going to happen.
Right.
So you do want to take a little bit of extra time just to make sure that you're not overcommitting somewhere and leaving yourself open.
Right. Sander there did just check what that Hawk has for actions. It has boost now.
Yep.
It is red.
And jam.
Boost and jam. That Hawk's a very, very good ship.
Yep. So the Hawk is actually one of my favorite ships in just all of X-Wing and Star Wars in general.
Right.
I grew up on the Dark Forces games and Jedi Outcast and all that kind of stuff. And it's just, man, it was just such a good game, and I love that ship. Now, we do see a 1 bank. Looks like he's probably going to hit it.
That's close.
Yep. Going to barely clip the debris.
Very, very close. Do we have a crit? No, we
crits.
don't, but there is a stress into Torkel Mux. That's not the worst thing in the world. Again, Torkel's ability there still triggering inside this whole 180-degree arc. He might just be doing that so that his whole force can follow.
Yep.
And indeed, there is the 1 bank for the Cartel Marauder.
And one of the rules whenever you're flying swarms is you don't break up the formation.
Right.
So sometimes you have to just accept that one guy's going to go over a rock or something like that, just to make sure that you have the full force of all of your arcs ready to bear down on who you're trying to kill.
Exactly. And Torkel is very well equipped for this very situation because he definitely does still have those 2 focus.
Yep.
He's got modifiers on his ice. Now, this is interesting. Tirani Kolda
committal here.
Taking the 3 turn over the asteroid. Excuse me,
double
debris cloud.
stress, no damage. Or is it? I think it's just a.
So that dial's still white.
It's just
yes,
white.
It's
Okay.
the one turns that are red on the Kimo Eagles dial.
I think I remember in first edition they were red.
Yes, Boba Fett choosing violence, turning in on that formation.
So we're going to have some shots this turn for sure. Now we still do have a target lock that Torkel Mux picked up last round onto Boba Fett. He will not be able to get into range 1 of anything for his rerolls.
Or Fearless. All right, so he's just going to go ahead and reinforce that red, reinforce the front.
Almost. Still debating. Nope, taking a focus token. He chooses violence. Oh, did Fenn get... Oh, okay. That's going to be...
Tarani, this is a snapshot here.
This is a snapshot in bullseye. Oh, range 1, no snapshot. Wow.
So close.
So close.
So close right there. Fen Rao.
I got really excited for a second.
Fen Rao almost landing that snapshot. I still think he has to boost. He's taking the barrel roll. Interesting.
He chooses violence.
Right. He's going to go right inside. Going to link that to a focus.
Yep.
Right inside. So he has the return shot.
Yeah, and well, that's what you want to do with Fenn. You want him to be in range 1. You want him to have that front arc.
But this is extremely dangerous. If he hasn't managed to skirt that bullseye right here, what's going to happen is Torkel Mux drop him to a 0.
Yep.
Right. Tarani Kulda fires first, range 1 shot. Even if if it doesn't hit, he's going to hit that bullseye, either strip the focus or do a damage.
Yep.
Justero gets a shot. Cartel Murado, he's skirted that arc.
Yep. It could be pretty hairy here.
But if anyone's good at surviving at range 1, it's Fenn.
Yep.
Fenn did not get dropped.
So I guess he dropped Boba?
Interesting.
Interesting call. 2 shields and 1 damage going into Tarani Kulda here. Maybe he was hoping that Fenn would have to spend the focus.
Real quick question from the chat here. MG Rockwell says, can we pause Worlds until the hockey game is over? No.
No, we cannot.
No, we cannot. World sleeps for nobody. X-Wing sleeps for nobody.
What is sports ball?
I know, right? Boba Fett was indeed dropped. We have 4 coming in on Fenn. 3 hits and a crit. There's the Conquer Dawn Protector. He could avoid
everything, but yeah. Okay, so like he was not going to spend that focus. We need to find out what crit
it was.
That
a blinded pilot.
Okay.
Yeah, blinded pilot. He's not going to spend the focus so that he can retain it for the strip.
Yep. Justero looking for some damage here. Doesn't look like it is in. So Justero maybe has a shot here onto Boba.
Range 3 obstructed into Boba Fett.
Threading the needle here.
That's why. Nathan Squadron reminds me here, he can't spend the focus because dead to rights.
Yep.
Here comes Justero focusing for hit and
Boba.
crit. Boba spending Maul's force right there, taking 1 damage.
Yep, dead to rights. Thank you for calling that one out.
He does not want to get a stress to take that Maul force back right now.
We don't see Kimo Gillis very often. So.
Right. There's another 3 paint focusing. Boba Fett spending the focus. No damage.
Is he going to... Oh, he did not take any damage.
So he took damage on the first hit with Maul. He vocalized he doesn't want to stress.
Okay. Yep.
Doesn't want the stress right now.
Makes sense. So no damage going in. So now we have Torkel Mux trying to decide, do you take the range 2 shot on an unmodded Fenn?
I think this might be the time to try to play something through, right?
Get some extra damage in.
There is range 2 shot on the untoken Fen Rao.
Niklas still kind of deciding here. He said it was tempting. Or you go range 2 obstructed with 3 dice.
Double checking the range.
Yeah. Making sure.
Both players have an opportunity to measure that right now.
Yep. Chat calling for shooting at Fenn. I think shooting at Fenn is the right call here.
But it looks like we might be picking up dice to fire into Boba.
You only got 1 shield into Boba.
Firing into Boba.
Firing into Boba. He doesn't have any mods. Spend the lock.
1, 2, spending the
3
focus.
hits.
And there's
Ooh.
3 blanks, all 3 shields remaining down on
So
Boba.
that ended up being the right call.
Right, since he didn't maul for the focus right there, right?
Boba is now going to shoot. Still
got to take that shot, maybe Tirani or Justero.
Yep.
Picking up 3 dice, no mods.
So the blinded pilot crit for Fenn isn't bad.
It's not terrible.
It's not terrible.
So he's firing into Tyrannical to 3 blanks. Unfortunate Reds for Zander Neeft. Get the force back from Maul. We go back to Dials with just under 50 minutes remaining. Neither player picking up any points that round, but Niklas was able to put a crit into Fenn, strip the shields off of Boba. I think he's in a commanding position right now. Do you agree?
So we have Torkel. He's going to go over the debris this turn. Not much he can do about it.
Not a really big deal either. He still has that focus.
Yep. So we could see basically just kind of some one banks here, maybe a barrel roll to possibly just block Fenn or Boba from coming in here. Or Boba's kind of in a tough spot because I don't think he really has an option to he may be able to fit that one hard.
I think that's Boba's play. Since Zander was really not wanting to take the stress.
Yeah.
Right there. I think he's looking at a 1 turn.
Yep.
Whether or not that is forward or backward, excuse me, left or right.
Yep.
He can take that 1 turn, get some good shots. Fenn Rao, though, is in an interesting position. Do we see the 2 turn?
I don't know. I mean, he definitely clears the debris doing that. Right. But the question is, how... If he does do the 2 turn, he can absolutely get out of arcs, even if they do the 1 hards, unless they barrel roll.
Right.
So he has a safe position to do that and possibly get some more shots.
Yeah. Because that blinded pilot you can't clear until you fire, right?
Correct. No.
Well, you'll engage.
No. Blinded pilot is you can't spend. You can't mod your dice unless it's a force.
Right, but it doesn't clear until you engage, or it doesn't clear at all.
No, it doesn't clear at all.
Okay, that's
until you like action it off.
Right.
Yeah. Now there's no way that Tyrannicolda can. What is it? Sorry. That he can't K-turn this turn. He is stressed from that debris.
If I were Niklas, I would make a big play into Boba.
Yep.
Right now, you don't have a great way. Like Fenn's got some options right now. He is a little bit scared. He has to run, but he has a couple different ways that he can do so.
And Fenn, I've seen Fenn just completely dominate games, even after an early bad engagement. He still absolutely has a game in this, and Boba can still survive long enough to give Fenn the time that he needs.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough too, though, because if we get that 2 turn from Tirani, he will remain stressed, but that bullseye then covers a lot of territory.
And you could possibly see a snapshot if he does carve in, and that is big, just to try and get some extra free damage into Boba before he can do anything.
Right.
Now, if Boba actually does do that, and he does catch range 1 of other ships, then he would be able to get some mods that way with the rerolls. Oh, so we have a
big shot.
Full commit here coming in. Looks like he's clipping that debris.
Cartel Marauder coming in 4 straight.
Yeah, rolling for damage, no damage, taking a stress.
Niklas just unconcerned completely with the debris right there.
Yep. And again, this is just one of those things where you keep the formation together.
Right, and it's fantastic to see that Niklas has some stress tokens that he can use to keep the what am I trying to say? To keep himself in line.
Yep.
To understand what all of his ships are facing in terms of effect. And those stress tokens, too, brought to us by Curlpot Creatives. Large, easy to see. You can get your own for 15% off by using code WORLDS2019.
Yep. So we did just see Torkel Mux lose a shield coming off of that debris cloud, rolling a crit. but he did do a 1 bank, so he did clear the first stress.
Right, 2 straightforward from Justero.
Just kind of making sure that, that he's going to have a nice wide arc for Boba whenever he, and you know, you want to get some semblance of action economy in this.
Kimagila, where's he going?
Too hard.
Right there, going ahead and doing the side-to-side method of measuring that.
Yep, I love that we can do that now in 2nd edition.
Exactly. Well, we can do it officially and
we can do it officially.
We did it in 1st edition.
Yeah, I didn't. I played by the rules.
Oh, how cute. So does not relinquish the stress.
But he probably doesn't care.
Yeah, as we can see, Niklas is flying recklessly. He's trying to get shots, trying to put damage in.
Yep.
Now it looks like Sander did need. There it is. There's the 3 bank.
Just coming over.
Now I actually like that maneuver.
That's a good maneuver.
Right. I think that's great because he was going to go across the gas cloud already.
Yep.
Right. In this instance, he's blocked against Tirani, which means Tirani is not going to have a shot.
Yep, that's the most important part here.
Right, so Sander he's done actually a couple things right here. He has stopped the shot from Tirani, and that's going to be a proximity mine right there.
And he's gotten out of arc of the front thing. So now here's a question. Yep, he's going to go ahead and flip blind to pilot. Good call, just so he can Fen can carve in this next turn and wreak as much havoc as he can, assuming we hope that Boba survives this round.
Captain Justero, now he's got 3 rerolls though.
Yes.
Right, he's got 3 rerolls, so he's got Maul. 100% going to use it this round. Here comes Justero firing in 3 dice. No focus though.
Spending the lock on everything. And one
hit.
Crit. And doesn't need to reroll.
Boba is absolutely fine.
Yep. We could see a pretty rough crit string coming in from Torkel Mux by chance, but probably not.
Just 1 hit, 1 crit. Spend that Maul force and dodge them all.
Yep, there we
is.
go. That's what you want right here, because you do have a bunch of rerolls.
This is exactly where Boba wants to be. He's got the range 1 onto the Cartel Marauder.
Trying to just go ahead and get damage in before he drops that bomb next turn.
Right. Oh, 3 hits and a crit. Big hit. 2 dice blanks. Cartel Marauder taking a hit.
That will guarantee
on the shield. 2 hits and a crit.
That will almost guarantee a kill from the proximity mine next round.
A loose stabilizer.
Man, what a shot from Boba. He didn't take any damage this turn, which we felt that was actually not going to be a thing.
No, this is, you know what? This is exactly where Boba wants to be. He's in range 1, right? He's got all those rerolls. He's dodged a couple arcs. He's got Maul force.
Yep.
Boba's that's a great position for Boba to be.
He's got the bomb this next turn.
This is going to be a beautiful bomb.
Yep.
If he rolls 1 die on that, then if you roll 1 die on that bomb, that's a dead Cartel Marauder.
Yep. And we do have Fen in a perfect position to come around and capitalize on the chaos that Boba has created.
Absolutely. Sander picking up a 19-point lead in total by halving that Cartel Marauder.
Yep, in a single shot.
Right, and I think that's why he didn't go for Torkel too, is because he wants that. He's hungry. He wants that proximity mine.
Yep. You want to get that proximity mine. You want to make it count. So now all he can hope for, and he got a loose stabilizer crit, so he knows that this Marauder cannot turn this next turn.
Now here's something interesting. If Torkel Mux drops himself a proton bomb right here,
you could see some solid zone control.
Is that range 1 bubble going to prevent Fen from effectively attacking down this lane?
It could. It entirely could. And this is why, like, Niklas's list is so good, because you cover so much ground.
Right. Now, I did mention rerolls. People in the chat mentioning he has rerolls, but he did not need them.
He did not need them. Boba was angry from last turn.
40 minutes left in this round. We see Sander with an early lead.
But only 19 points.
Only 19 points, and Boba is shieldless. He's within striking distance of half hull himself, and that would be a 62 point swing.
Yep. And Boba, what, needs 2 more damage in for half? Yeah. So this is going to be an interesting round. I think we're going to see probably some ships dying.
That would be the that would be the thought right here.
Yes. So
he's moving the dials away.
Just so there's no confusion, because everyone is using the same backs for the dial covers.
Right.
And we are assuming that still deciding here. A couple more dials to go down. What does Kolda do here?
Kolda's in a tough spot.
Yeah.
Because Kolda's stressed. He's facing the wrong way. He made that play for Boba Fett.
Yep.
And that didn't work, unfortunately.
Yep. Well, and Sanders saw it coming.
Right. So he dialed in the fast maneuver. He bumped, denied that shot.
I think actually one of my favorite things that I love about just X-Wing the game and the game mechanics is that bumping other ships is a strategy.
Right, and I think that's the strategy that Kolda takes right now.
Yep.
One straight blue, bumps into Boba Fett, clears the stress,
yep.
and just sits himself there.
Yep.
Right.
And just says, I'm going to hang out, and we'll see what happens. Ready
to K-turn next turn. That Kimogila does have that K-turn.
He does.
He's got a 4.
Yep. 4K.
So we've got the 4K. He's ready to 4K next turn or turn into Fen.
Yep.
Whichever works.
Yep. But yeah, like the bumping strategy is one of my favorite things, and I learned that pretty early on whenever I used to fly Boss.
But the danger is, Fett sees that, one bank.
Yep, and then just plasters him from range
again.
1.
Then we have a Prox Mine coming in next turn.
Yep, and that's the beauty of Boba Fett. That's why he's so good.
Right, lots of options. System phase coming up right here. I don't think all the dials are down. Tyrannikild is still considering.
Yep, trying to figure out what to do. You may just run him past everything.
It's possible.
Just to not get hit by that range 1 bank.
Once again, everybody, thank you for joining us. This is round 6 of day 1B. Just under 40 minutes left in the round. We have everybody on the tables behind us, all angling for a shot at Worlds. Dials down, system phase now. There's the proximity mine.
So one hit coming into the Marauder, and 2 dice being rolled for the prox, and there it is.
There's a hit. Proximity mine killing the Cartel Marauder
before it even moves. Yep. Holding out the proximity mine is like, we didn't need to put it down. We knew it hit.
Right.
No more dial.
Sorry.
Yep.
Yeah, he's just putting that in stream. Yeah, we understand. Thank you, Sander. Any proton bomb though for Tirani?
Yep. Maybe still
for Torkel Mux.
Yeah, for Torkel Mux. Looks like Niklas is still debating. Yeah, like there's no way around getting hit by the procs, so you just hope that you just roll bad.
Right.
So no bomb from Torkel here.
He's just slamming into the back of Boba Fett.
Yep. He's just saying, I still have my mods. I have a focus. I don't need anything.
I don't need any action. Still have that ready to go, ready to come to range 1.
Yep. Now he is actually facing this direction. Just Torkel Mux. Yep, there we go.
There we go. With that 180-degree Mux arc.
It is right there. Still keeping a really solid look at making sure that his targets are going to be 0.
Now that looks like a 4 straight.
Could be a 4K.
They don't have one. They've got 5K.
Yeah, the 5K. Yep. No, they have the 4K.
And the 5K.
That's right.
No,
the 5K used to be in first edition.
That's why I remember now. That's why I was so sad when the Marauders came out.
The 5K is so strong. 4K is still good.
For reference, the last time I flew the Kirax fighter was when they still had the 5K. So taking a stress, moving around there.
So I asked the exact same question whenever I was playing him on Wednesday, I was like, so what kind of K-turns do they have?
So he dialed in the one hard turn. So Tarani bumping. Boba dialed in the one hard turn.
Ooh.
He elected to stay right there by switching it to the left with Slave 1.
Oh,
Boba
wow.
now with an unopposed shot on Captain Justero. Excellent maneuver.
It will be through the cloud, so there is some variance in there.
Oh, who cares? Boba's got that right.
Oh my gosh.
No, I'm being reductionist right there. You're absolutely right. There will be some defensive mods. So Justero unlikely to go down in such a spectacular fashion as the Cartel Murado. But remember, we've got a second
bomb.
proximity mine.
Yep, and he's just going to drop it right down.
Fenrau coming in around the top, boosting.
Yep.
See that link to a focus?
Yep.
Absolutely.
And taking the stress. Looks like we're probably going to go into Mux here.
Depends on who he's got the range 1 shot on.
Possible, yeah.
Torkel Mux on Fenrau there.
Making him a 0.
Sorry, initiative 0. There we go.
Range 2 from Justero going into Fen. Oh, so Boba gets
now
first.
that Boba isn't Mux, the first time in a row, we're going to see that 4-dice rear shot.
Oh, my
It
gosh.
doesn't need any re-rolls. Boba Fett with the natties.
Second shot in a row.
Captain Justero, 2 evades, though.
Only taking a shield. That's the best you could have hoped for.
It actually is the best you could have hoped for. 2 evades plus the gas cloud keeping him safe. Range 2 from Mux into Fen, or excuse me, from Justero into Fen.
And there's just the 1 and the 1 evade. Fen is safe, and now it is Fen's turn. Or no, Torkel Mux now gets to shoot. Looks like a range 1. Now there will be no Concordia.
Right, because he is not in the forward primary arc. 2 hits, no target lock. Fenrau, though, does he take 1? He's going to focus.
Yep.
He wants to not give up half points.
Fen coming in here. He does not have Fearless.
He says, quote, range 1 into something. Is that going to be Tarani or Torkel there?
I think you go into Torkel here. He's the most dangerous piece.
Right. Taking it to Torkel.
Oh!
Blanks.
And blanks out.
Blanks. Hey, for the 8 dice that he rolled between Boba and Fen, that's average, right?
You mean 9 dice? He rolled 4 and 5. Yep.
Yep. For the 9 dice, that's average.
The dice giveth and the dice taketh away.
Indeed they do. And you know what else giveth? That 15% off code to Curled
Oh my
Paw
gosh,
Creatives.
that's like the worst segue ever.
At the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, you got Worlds 2019 to save 15% on all Curled Paw Creative tokens. Yeah, thank you.
That was like the worst segue I've ever heard.
32 minutes left in the round. Sander with now a 38-point lead.
Yep.
Picking up that whole Cartel Marauder as dials go back down for another round.
And then we're going to see another bomb coming this turn. Now, we're probably going to see a bomb from Torkel Mux as well this turn.
That's very dangerous, unless he knows that he can clear it with Captain Justero, with Tarani Kolda. Both of those ships are going to be into hull right now.
Now, I'll say this. When I flew against him, he had no problem dropping it on his own guys.
Niklas does not look like he has much regard for his own ship's safety right now. It is win at all costs, and that's something that I absolutely respect.
And that is the scum player mantra.
Yes.
You crash those ships in, you get that damage. No one cares about your allies.
No.
Only damage.
And the only thing that would make this better is if all those ships had Dead Man Switch.
Oh my gosh.
So how does Fenrau then escape the scrum?
He's stressed.
Right.
He wouldn't, but if he did a 2-bank here, there's no way he'd get out of range 1 bubble that way.
I mean, what do you think? Just a 2 straight?
2 straight would get. 2 straight could possibly be okay. Ah, man, I don't know.
It's like that's a tough one. I think at this point now, Tarani Kolda can K-turn.
Yes.
Right, so he's got that 4K.
You definitely K-turn here with Tarani.
You got to get out of the way first with Justero, but I definitely think that you will.
You got to get that. You got to get that arc back in action. That big Tarani Kolda gun.
Because it's been out of the fight for 2 rounds right now.
Yep.
Boba Fett's just been running right into it, keeping him locked in front.
Yep.
Great use of Slave 1 there from Sander.
Yep. And I mean, like, again, this is the bumping game.
Right.
You have to mitigate damage by stopping shots from happening onto your key pieces.
Now, do we see Boba disengaging with something like or I mean, not necessarily disengaging, but gaining some space, maybe with a 4K?
No, I don't think you K here.
Boba's not something that really likes to gain that space either.
Yeah, I honestly think that you just dial in a 1 bank either way, and just see where it leads you. Because if Tirani does K turn here, then he's open up to go either direction based on how he sees the rest of the field.
Yeah, I think that's a very, very good point. With dial in that 1, or I don't know, maybe not the 1 hard turn, maybe 1 bank at this point.
Yeah, the 1 bank I think would probably be the better call, just because it
Torkel,
keeps his arc.
Torkel can't overshoot him, right?
No.
So, if Torkel does overshoot and he does take the 1 bank, he'll just bump right back in there into Torkel.
Yep.
Then Tirani's K-turn's going to put him right back in the rear arc, and Boba's still where he wants to be.
Yep, exactly.
If Torkel does not overshoot him, then the 1 bank's still going to put Torkel solidly in arc.
Yep. So Torkel has to move first.
Right.
So we may see him carve over doing maybe a 2 bank and then rotating his arc to the back.
That's also a very real possibility. Does have a lot of options.
Yep.
But I think at this point, Niklas is definitely in a little bit of a bind.
Yes,
right
absolutely.
now. He's down on points. I definitely think that Boba's got really good positioning on him.
Yep.
He's exactly where he wants to be. Niklas has created this bump train, this scrum in the center, but Boba loves that.
Yep.
He's sitting here. He's taking unmodified shots, just not using all the mods that he has, because he's just rolling natties.
He doesn't need mods, apparently, this game. 2 range 1 shots, 3 hits in a crit, and then 4 hits just outright. Doesn't even need to reroll.
Right.
And looks like he is set.
There's these
dropping another bomb.
Proximity mine. Now, does this hit Torkel and Justero?
Now, he has to choose which one it blows up on.
If you are Sander, who do you detonate?
It looks like it's only going to hit Justero.
So he doesn't have the choice. Justero's going to take 1 damage.
And
1 more.
2 damage coming into Justero here.
Now on 3 hull, picking up half points from Justero and a 59-point lead.
Yep, those prox mines doing exactly what they do.
Right. Great use of mines right there.
Yep, absolutely.
And there's the proton bomb. He is covering off this exit right over here.
He's saying, Fen, you gotta come over this way.
Right. Sander definitely a more defensive player than Niklas is when it comes to protecting damage.
Player.
3 bank from Torkel Mux there. We are going to overshoot Boba.
Okay. Yep, and that's kind of what I was thinking he was going to do here. And maybe it's just because I played against him twice on Wednesday.
Right.
So I've kind of seen his tendencies here.
So some questions in the chat. Justero was the target. Why not Torkel of that proximity mine?
Because
that's
he did not hit it.
Yep, that's the only one.
Yep, he did not hit Torkel. He was just far enough out on that curve. It's really interesting because the proximity mines don't go as far as you think they do.
Right.
It's just very interesting.
So Torkel Mux does still have that focus, rotating the arc to the rear.
Yep. And double focus and link into the rotate.
Right. All right, now we are waiting here.
No, there's some confusion about him having the focus.
If some chat would be able to help me out, I believe he should only have 1 focus at the moment.
He should have 2 focus.
What do you think? So should he have 2 focus?
He should have 2 focus.
He should have 2 focus.
Because he did not spend it on the attack on defense.
So he came in here. He was banked up. Came down here over the rock. Had 2.
Had 2. Spent 1.
Spent 1. Then you're right. He didn't fire for turn after turn.
Yep. And then
so he should have. Yep. That's that was just laying back.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Okay, that was the confusion. He didn't realize that you could focus turn.
Yes. Yes. So there's the linked rotate. And that's why he is stressed.
Yeah,
There's the confusion there.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So there was the confusion. Yep.
There's a little bit of unfamiliarity with the Hawk. That's totally fine and understandable. We have, I mean, the Hawk's kind of come back recently. We didn't see it a little bit. Okay, there is Justero.
Yep.
Again, no regard.
Yeah. Again, like
for his
I said,
own ship
he has
safety.
no problem bombing his own
He
ships.
is looking for that block on Fenn right there. The 2-turn now going to be blocked by Justero. There it is.
Taking it like a man,
says Niklas.
Staying put.
Staying put. That's really interesting. Boba did it too hard.
Doesn't look like he can clear either direction.
And who cares? He likes where he's at.
Yep.
Yeah. So Boba Fett's just going to bump. He's going to stay there.
And bump into Fenn here. Definitely going to get hit by that bomb.
I'm not sure. That is close.
No, he's definitely going to get hit by it.
Zunder says, "Oh well, I'm fine."
Crit coming in here, not a direct hit. Oh, direct hit.
That is a direct hit.
Has 1 left.
Let's see if it will be worth it. So marking Justero, going to check for range because it is close.
Oh no, but he moved it when he did it.
Fenn takes it.
Doesn't.
That's right. So what they're going to do is they're going to back up. They're going to back up Torkel's maneuver, right? So they can find out exactly where they dropped that bomb.
It was.
That bomb. Banam.
They have a little bit of time here.
Right.
But you don't want to spend too much time on this kind of stuff. But
it is important.
Very important. Yep. Based on the 1, so you just do that.
So you got to make sure those templates are lined up.
It doesn't look like they're lined up right now. Okay. All right. Yep. Okay. So hit Boba and Fenn, moving everything back to make sure that it is all good.
Great use of template rules and the tools that they have on hand to solve that problem without calling the judge over. Boba and Fenn both taking a crit.
And we're about to see what those are. I would like to say this is an explosive match.
I love that. I am listening. Damaged engine.
And direct hit onto Boba. That is half points on Boba Fett.
Damaged engine on Fenn Rao. Also half points on Fenn.
Yep.
And a critical hit right there.
92 points.
Right.
Niklas. That is a massive lead.
Right.
Now, we do have Justero on 1 health and Torkel Mux on 4 with Tyrannicolda at 6.
Torkel Mux also has a shot back there on a 2-hull tokenless Fenn.
Yep. We should see some more damage in this turn, I would think.
So who's Torkel Mux going to Mux?
I think you Mux.
I think you Mux Boba.
I think you Mux Boba, just so you have your.
So Boba can't get a lucky shot in there and ping him before Fenn goes off.
Yeah, the chances of Fenn doing real damage to Torkel are much lower than Boba.
But it looks like he's going to go ahead and Mux Fenn.
Just so he doesn't get a shot, possibly.
Right.
I don't know if that's the right call or not.
We'll see. I think either one is good.
Yep, you shoot and defend here. If you can remove Fenn on this shot.
So he. So we're waiting to see who Torkel is going to mux. Boba's PS0 Fen taking the first shot. Tokenless onto Torkel. Only one hit coming through.
Hit coming in. And safe.
Net evades no damage. Torkel to Fen, range 2, 2 dice out the rear. Mobile arc. There's only one
hit and safe.
1 of aid. Boba, range 1 out the rear into Captain Justero. Oh. There's the rerolls. Maul force, 2 hits, 2 crits, Justero.
He didn't even need to maul, but he did anyways.
That's just the kind of list this is. Justero going down to overwhelming firepower.
So we still have 1 bomb left on Torkel.
Right. And even with Justero out, Niklas still in the lead, 92 points to 80 after getting half points on both of those ships. Because Sander hasn't quite gotten half points on Tirani or Niklas.
Yep. So here, like, okay, so then the next question is, do you just disengage with Fen and just try and run away?
I think so. Yeah. Or like right now, Boba is doing so much damage on his own.
Yep. And that's the thing, too, is you have to be kind of careful with Boba now because we're definitely in a disengagement zone at this point.
Right.
You're probably going to see maybe a 1 bank with Torkel, and he's just going to rotate the arc again. And I think you can still, do that. You can still just take a target lock and rotate with the same action.
He has the linked action again. Actually, a very good action bar on that Hawk 290 right there.
Yeah. No, I mean the Hawk they've made amazing.
Right. It is a fantastic ship. Yep. So both these players taking a moment here to consider their dials. I think that's very important. We're coming into the end game. This turn will decide who has the advantage going into there.
Yeah,
Niklas is up. I mean, Niklas is up on points, but Sander just needs 13 points to lead, and that is half points on either Torkel or Tirani. 30 points he gains by just doing a couple points of damage.
Yep. And Boba has been throwing hot fire.
Holy cow.
Every, minimum of 3 hits every single attack before
his dice just absolutely fire right now.
Yep.
And I do think a K-turn is absolutely on the table right now. We also have to expect that proton bomb, that second proton bomb coming out there from
because you have to assume that this is the last time that Torkel's going to have a real solid position to remove, to drop that bomb.
Go ahead and cross out the proximity mines. By the way, on that, Boba Fett has used both of them to great effect, I should say.
And something else to note here, too, Fen still has crack shot in the tank.
He does. So he's just got to use it.
He's got to use it.
Right now, he can't, he's got the damaged engine. Yep. That's going to be really, really rough. Part of me wonders if Fen, he just says, you know what? I'm coming in.
This is coming in.
Right, I'm just coming in. He can't turn out, right? Yep. He can't take that too hard turn. Well, he can.
He could 5 straight. And
but where from there, right? That's the issue, is where from there. If Torkel does indeed take this 1 bank, rotate that, we've got that 180-degree arc of coverage one more time. Tyrannical to 4K.
Yep.
Finally take that 4K, bring his gun back to bear.
Yeah, because you have to really think too that Niklas has not been using one of his biggest guns just because of the fact that Tirani is in such a good position right now to get those blocks off.
God, Tirani hasn't moved for 3 turns. Nope. Tirani and Boba both. I definitely think that Boba was the linchpin of Sander's list that won that central engagement. But I definitely think that he won that engagement.
Yeah.
But he's still in a tough position.
Yep,
because
absolutely.
Fent and Boba both took that proton bomb, which man, Niklas, the cojones on that man. Holy cow.
Yep. No, like I said, Justero's I am going to land on this.
Right.
And if it wasn't a direct hit, there may have been a chance for him to survive there from the shot from Boba. Yep, here comes the bomb. He's just saying, I'm going to drop it. I don't believe you.
Thank you very much, Dion. System phase indeed. We have a dropped proton bomb in this extremely close game. Yep. Niklas still with a 92 to 80 point lead, and Torkel Mux just down there over that gas cloud.
Yep. He doesn't care. We have seen that Niklas does not care about
Literally
any
doesn't care.
kind of obstacle or bumping or stress in this game.
So this is an interesting thing that I've seen a couple times. So there's the 4K.
Yep.
And what I'm talking about right here is that unexpected moves.
Yep.
Right now, Niklas is taking some unexpected moves here, but he is taking them in a very considered,
Yep.
very structured manner. Like, there is absolutely a reason behind this. What he's doing here is he's guarding
Protecting.
Torkel with that gas cloud. He recognizes that half points. He's keeping that arc open,
Yep.
and he's dropped the bomb.
Yep. So he's saying you have to reposition or you're going
Right.
to take another proton.
Right. He's saying you have to reposition. He's like forcing Boba and Fen to come down there. But even if they do come down there to take the shot on Torkel, they're going to be stuck in this area right here. They can't reposition boost out of that because of that gas cloud.
Yep.
And he's going to trap them between that and the proton bomb. Looks like an odd maneuver.
Yep.
You or I might not have seen that. That's just how good Niklas is at this list.
Yep. Yeah, he's obviously played this list a very long time and definitely knows how it needs to go. So he is going.
Snapshot. There's a snapshot call.
Yep.
And there it is, range 2. Snapshot coming in from Tirani Kulda. Nothing. Hey, shot's a shot.
Hey.
Dice, as we saw from Boba,
Yep.
sometimes they roll natties.
Yep.
Right?
And it doesn't look like Boba, he's trying to debate if he wants to boost here. He won't have a shot on anything.
But I think that's a solid way to go.
Yep.
Because right now Boba has a shot on Torkel, but it's a bad shot.
Yep.
He's going to be taking 2 in return and the proton bomb. Yep, so there's the boost.
Yep. And just out of arc on both accounts here. And
Excellent boost. Now
Fen-
where's Fen going? Taking that 5 straight. There he goes. Called in chat, by the way, by JCPR.
I said 5 straight.
You also did. Itchy218 saying they slid the proton bomb around. It's not going to matter right now.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
5 straight boost from Fen. Is he going to link that?
And it looks like we still have a possible shot here from Kulda.
So he's linking that to focus just to be safe.
Yep.
Might just be Torkel Mux.
No shot there. Bomb goes off. Nothing happens. Yep.
Great boost from Boba.
Yeah, and tracking it back here. Yep, definitely out.
Now, it's interesting there. Somebody says Tirani could have bullseyed damage. I don't think Fen was in that bullseye. It was close, but I don't think he was in that bullseye.
Oh, that may have been a missed opportunity, but that is just sometimes how it goes.
Two blanks from Torkel.
Where's the heroic when you need it?
Right now, Torkel is far from heroic, my man.
He is the scummiest of the scum.
Back to dials, 12 minutes left in this amazing game.
Yeah, this has been pretty incredible, honestly.
What a way to play a round 6. What a way to decide who gets into day 2
Yep.
and who has to fight through one more battle.
So I'm pretty sure we're going to see a 3 hard out of Kulda here to possibly catch that range 2 snapshot.
Right, so here's what we're seeing with Fen. Fen is going to 2-bank.
Yep, he has to.
That's his maneuver. So seeing that, we obviously know Niklas doesn't care about stress.
Yep.
We know he doesn't care about not getting any actions. What can he do?
3 hard.
3 hard right there. We've got a 1-bank from Torkel Mux.
Oh, we
keep that back arc open. Maybe catch Boba as he tries to Talon roll.
Both players are saying it's a good game, so that's always, it's always a good, nice, cordial match.
And I absolutely agree.
Yeah, this has been super exciting, especially because we haven't seen Scum all day.
Right, it's very refreshing.
And it's not U-Wings.
11 minutes left, setting dials definitely coming up against the clock right here.
Yep.
This game could go to time, but all of these ships within striking distance.
Yep, and Niklas is still in the lead with 12 points.
But I think what we should be considering right now is the positional advantage, and right now Niklas does have that too.
Yes.
Boba Fett's running scared. Fen Rao can't turn around nearly as effectively as he wants to because of that damaged engine. In order to turn around effectively, he has to use the boost. He has to get unstressed for a turn, and if Niklas keeps pushing him, keeps putting pressure on him, he's not going to be able to afford to not link that focus.
Yep, and you actually, like, so a lot of people would say that you want to try and get your front gun with Torkel onto Fen here. You want to keep it to where he doesn't get Fearless or Concordia.
Right. That's the only way to take down Fen once it gets in range 1.
Yep. So dials going down. Looks like we're good to go. Niklas doing the 2-turn. I think that's the right call.
It's a good blocking maneuver right over here. Keeps that back arc wide.
Yep. He may even catch Boba onto that debris. Taking the 2-turn here instead of the 3.
Still a good maneuver. Staying close to Boba as well. If Boba does get blocked, that means he has the shots on Boba or the shots on Fen.
Yep.
There's a 1-turn from Boba. Great call.
And gonna land on that debris. No shots.
Kidding me? Boba doesn't care about debris either.
Yep.
He's got those mods.
Got the
there we go. No crit. 2 rerolls. Of course, he has Maul in the can.
Stress and 2 bank out of Fen here. And Fen will not be able to close that gap into the range 1 of Torkel where he wants to be.
Right.
So I think you actually stay there and you just take a focus.
I think you do too.
Yep. Yeah, trying to think if he can get into range 1. He cannot.
I think you just got to stay there, take focus, so that he can try. He can 3 bank in next turn. Boba now is pilot skill 0.
Now we're going to see if Kulda can get a solid shot onto Boba with unmodded dice.
Fen,
sorry.
Range 3 coming in. Here's the shot.
Debating on what dice to roll.
All right, 3 paint. If only he had that focus token.
Re-rolling with R5P8. 2 hits.
1 evade, spend the focus. Now does Torkel take the range 3 shot out there? Right? Or does he take the range 1 shot on Boba? Either is a good option.
Yeah, this is the debate here.
Tokenless Fen or a range 1 Boba?
I know.
Both shots are juicy.
Because if you can get a really solid shot into Boba here, that could decide the game.
You know what else can decide your game? Accurate arc calls with range rulers from Curled Paw Creative.
Gosh, please stop. it hurts by this point.
15% off with code WORLDS2019. You have that until Monday, so get in there, put your orders in before Andrew goes away on vacation, so he has a lot of work to do for here he gets back.
Range 1 into Boba here. I'm just
juicy shot.
I'm just ignoring. Oh my gosh.
Only he had a target lock, 1 hit. Boba gets out of that with no damage.
Boba range 1 into Torkel.
And that's what he wants to see. 3 hits with Maul.
So guaranteed damage here.
Got to spend one of those focus.
That is half points on Torkel. And that puts Sander into the lead with 7 minutes left.
Flip and flop in this game, now ahead by 18 points. Niklas needing to kill Boba or Fen now to progress back into the lead.
So I'm pretty sure that we're just going to see a possible 2 straight over this debris cloud, or over this
maybe
cloud.
Maybe even 1. I mean, just keeping the arcs wide, right?
Yep.
Because if he takes the 2 straight, Fen there could 3 bank and overshoot Tirani, and that's really not what Niklas wants to do. Now, with that said, we're making, Niklas is flying in a manner that completely negates my prediction.
Yep.
Right? I've really not made an accurate call for Tirani or Torkel this whole game.
Yep. So I think what we see now, well, no, because he has a stress, we may just see a 1 bank out of Torkel.
No. 1 straight.
Just 1 straight onto the debris?
You know it. He's been doing it this whole game.
I mean, you're not wrong.
He's still got a focus, and that's enough.
With a little under 6 minutes left on the clock, they may be able to get 2 more rounds in. The win condition at this point is to kill Fen.
Right.
Has Kulda actually gotten any actions? I don't think he has.
Not since he was right there. This is an absolutely fantastic game. Just over 5 minutes left. 2 more rounds in this game if they play quickly, but they are being considered, taking their time with their dials.
Yep. And with the damage engine on Fen is what really, really hurts.
Right. If Fen did not have damage engine and could disengage himself, then this would be a completely different story. And Sander would be solidly in the lead, both positionally and on points.
Yeah, and I mean, it just shows how good those proton bombs are on Torkoal.
Right. And how expertly Niklas set that up.
with the expense of his entire list.
Yeah. I mean, seriously, though.
like when I said earlier, he sells out. He sells out.
Full send on that proton bomb. Oh, my goodness. Dials down, just waiting on Torkoal.
Yep, trying to decide what to do here. Tough calls all around.
Absolutely. I think that the so I can predict Sander. I've been shown to be able to predict Sander this game. So I think we can see a 4K.
No, we see from Fen?
No, from Boba.
No, he's stressed.
You're right. Thank you.
It's going to be 1 straight.
Yeah, 1 straight. 1 straight from that Fen. 3 bank. Because he's trying to close that gap on
Torkoal.
Exactly.
So the real question is, does Niklas think that he just does a 1 bank to try and catch that thing already shaking? They say it's probably going to be the last round. They're just going to see how it goes. 1 straight, like he called. Yep.
There we go.
Keeping that arc, putting everything on the line here.
Now, if he does crit this into a direct hit, I'm going to laugh really hard.
That would be so sad.
Let's see. Here it is. Here it is. No damage.
But it was so close.
It was so close.
It's staring at him.
Well, it's because Niklas found the one with the extra crit.
Oh, okay.
Just straight there from Tirani.
Yep. Trying to guarantee some of this damage. Now, the only reason why I said maybe doing the 1 straight.
That corner is not obstructed.
It is not obstructed. 1 bank. Interesting call.
So he's deciding which way. He's actually going to be able to bank to either the right or the left. He is stressed. So Slave 1 might actually not trigger right there, right?
Interesting call. I don't understand that choice. A 1 straight would have accomplished everything else that he needed to do. I guess just he wanted the options to go one way or the other.
Interesting. Not sure about what the stress had to do with that. Slave 1 doesn't have any stress requirements. But he cleared it. He's looking at the target lock, taking the lock then.
And just doing the too hard.
Full send. Oh, my goodness. That is risky. Don't think that's an... Oh, he's got it. He's got the range 1 going in.
No.
No barrel roll.
No barrel roll. Crit.
Damaged engine.
Damaged engine. Oh, my God.
We got a... So correcting that, we got a damaged engine. Fen should be stressed. Oh, right. So the damaged engine, right, it just makes it white. Oh, my goodness. So used to seeing damaged engine just raking those turns red.
Oh,
rightfully laughing at us on the table right there. So there that is, barrel rolling, linking it to a focus. Takes him out of the bullseye.
Oh, man. That feels bad.
But you know what feels good?
Not calling the right thing. Oh,
that 15% off coupon from Curl Box Arenas Worlds 2019 as we see the end of this game.
Stop it now. Oh, man. I can't believe I did that.
But I think we got muxed. Yep. So Fen there getting muxed. Boba rolling the target lock. Maul hit and crit into Tirani.
Is this a range 3?
It's a range 3.
Could Nat out of here? Oh, range
it's just 2. Just one. Just the crit going through onto Tirani Kulda.
Not direct.
Console fire.
Oh, no.
That could kill him.
Well, not kill him. It could put him to half points.
Right. So first, here comes the console fire.
No console
damage.
fire.
3, 2, 1, and there's time.
Players, that is time for round 6. X-Wing Day 1B players, time.
There's range 1 for Tirani. Only 1. That won't be enough to put down
the
Fen.
reroll.
Spending the R5. Takes a crit.
Okay, possible.
Direct hit.
Direct hit.
Fen conquered Dawn and the focus. Why did he spend
Why
the
did
focus?
he spend the focus?
He did not have to spend the focus there.
Yeah, not needed, but that was a misplay.
Here comes the obstructed shot from Torkel Mux.
Could be a misplay. But I don't think, even if he kills Fen here, I don't think he has enough points.
Because we've got half on Tirani.
Yep.
But there's 2 blanks.
And 2 blanks.
Range 1 with Fen into Tirani. Can we kill?
Oh my gosh.
Maybe we can. 3 hits.
He
Tirani.
forgets. Oh, he doesn't have fear. Oh, he has crack shot, yeah.
Tirani with 1 crack shot. There we go. There's a kill.
Oh, man.
Oh, he didn't crack. He didn't crack.
And he forgot. Yep.
So we did forget the crack shot, but it doesn't matter. Zonder Neeft, 140 points to 92 with a spectacular win in round 6.
Great
Zonder
match.
Now, right, Zonder now going on to day 2. Now 5-1, secured the 5 wins that he needs. Niklas has 1 more ahead of him. This has been an absolutely fantastic round.
An absolute banging match. Like, that was awesome.
Absolutely fantastic.
Torkel's shots just have been, the last 3 rounds, just blanks upon blanks upon blanks.
Absolutely.
I mean, frustrating for Niklas, but sometimes it's just how it rolls.
I respect Niklas's, damn the torpedoes flying style, but there are some times where you want actions, and hit 3 focus is one of those.
Yep, absolutely.
That was an absolutely fantastic game, though. I'm glad that we had that in round 6.
Absolutely.
Dion just has a couple of words to say, and then we'll be back for round 7, the final round here in just a few minutes. Dion? Oh, we got to fill a little bit more time.
We're filling stuff right now.
We're filling time. All right. And you know how you can fill your time? By going to Curled Pot Creatives on Etsy using that coupon code WORLDS2019 for 15% off.
All right, guys.